what the Los Angeles Gladiators are made of as they go up against the Vancouver Titans. Already LH Cloudy going to be charging into the fight, mitigating a lot of the damage of his shield, just trying to build up the Earth Shatter for now. Both teams looking for opportunities. Big Bionade comes out there from Twilight. Jaro forced to use the Ice Block to try and purge it off. A great boot. Jaro manages to save himself there. Not necessarily needing to use the Ice Wall in the process, but so far no casualties on either side, just rotations, both teams trying to gain positioning.
Yeah, and with the main Reaper coming out from the Vancouver Titans, they want to go and fight. But for the Gladiators, they want to wait for Birdring to get picked. Nice aggressive play by Big Goose, though, to take out Twilight. That should be an opening.
Yeah, and it's plays like that are going to absolutely crack open this point for them. However, Stitch is going to answer back with a kill of his own onto Cloudy. We'll see now if the Vancouver Titans can capitalize off the back of it. You can see now the aggressive maneuvers being made. Slime gets a kill onto Birdring as well. Shaz keeping his team up from afar. Good Biogram to the back line, but the Earth Shatter by Fisher connects onto two of them. Allows Stitch to really clean up the members of the LA Gladiators. And that is going to be the point held on for the Titans.
And I like this switch from Birdring, immediately going over to the McCree, because the Vancouver Titans, with their main Reaper composition, were able to dominate the point. They got on there, they made sure that the Gladiators couldn't come and fight them in a 6-on-6, and Birdring was denied any opportunity to get picks. Janu all over him.
But you can see the Ice Wall now is going to be segregating off the LA Gladiators. Huge Bionade from Twilight again, and Fisher cleans up with 3 kills. The Blizzard, just the icing on the cake, really, isn't it? And that is going to be another one team fight there for the Vancouver Titans.
Yeah, they have double support ults going to this next fight, and in these small choke points, Fisher is going to be able to do so much damage. He's already up to 60% of another Earth Shatter. This guy is so phenomenally talented. If the Vancouver Titans can put him in position to succeed, he will deliver.
We'll see now. Twilight has the Nano Boost available to him. We'll see who does the recipient. Ends up using it now onto Stitch. Stitch unloading the damage. Cloudy's ultimate doesn't get any value, and look at that. The Death Blossom absolutely shreds the Gladiators. 80% and counting. The Titans are still in control.
They were forced to use their sound barrier in the middle of that, so the Los Angeles Gladiators have a little bit of an opportunity, but with only 10 seconds left to touch the point, the Vancouver Titans know exactly where they're coming from, and the Gladiators are going to be hard-pressed to be able to get in here. Only 5 seconds to touch.
Space coming up on the flank here. He's going to try and touch the point. In the meantime, Fisher going aggressive. The Earth Shatter lays down, and nobody can touch the point. But Janu's on the Diva. Could be getting his orbs eaten up, but we'll see now the teams are going to start to clash onto the point. Already, Haxel being pressured a lot, has to use the Ice Wall defensively, pushes himself back. The aggression by Gladiators straight into them. Charges, though, going to be almost immediately, and Fisher's going to be brought down. Great opening pick there for the Gladiators. See if they can capitalize any more off of it. The Titans forced to just poke and prod from afar.
I mean, that's a 6-man Bionade, but there's nobody going to be able to follow up. The kill onto Fisher just allowed the Gladiators to play the point, and if they can maybe manage to get another pick here, they'll start accruing capture time and be in a great position.
And this is the position that the Gladiators wanted to be in because they have that coalescence, and now they're going to unleash it, keeping the team up, absolutely chunking down the Vancouver Titans. Another counter charge comes out from the Reinhardt players, and a great slip down from Twilight is going to take Shaz out of the flight temporarily. Jaru falls though, and this is a huge opening now for the Titans, and they're going to clean up off the back of it.
Oh, that was such a good sleep dart by Twilight to cancel Shaz's coalescence, but also to deny any healing that he was able to do. The Los Angeles Gladiators were essentially down their main support. He might as well have killed him, because while Shaz was lying on the floor, the rest of the Gladiators fell. Insane play from Twilight. That's what we expect from this guy. He's such a good Ana player.
Yep, his Ana, phenomenal across the board. You can see in the previous...
Another incredible Ana player.
Absolutely. But now we'll see if the Titans are able to hold this. They have a ton of ultimates to work with, but so do the Gladiators. See what they choose to use. The Death Blossom used preemptively. Soundbarrier used by the Gladiators as well. Vancouver Titans with a slightly better one as we see the Blizzards coming out. Fisher gets the charge onto Cloudy, and those 2 kills should set them up for the win here. The Titans are easily going to be able to clean this one up. Space just wants to try and not stagger there. He's going to jump off the map just so he can respawn with the rest of his team.
Yeah, the Blizzard coming out from Haxel was the big game changer there. Jerry was only at about 90%, and as they all came in, they have to kite the Blizzard, otherwise they get trapped in it, and the Vancouver Titans are able to take advantage. But now that advantage flips over to Jaru. He has the Blizzard available, so if they can get to the point and force the fight to happen down there, this Blizzard should be able to get big value.
Well, all eyes on Janu right now to see if he can eat up this Blizzard from Jaru. It's going to be one of the win conditions. Cloudy looking for an opportunity, searching for the Earth Shatter, comes down, lays it down. Stitch cancelled out of the Death Blossom, and that's exactly what the Gladiators wanted. The Blizzard gets maximum value. Shaz using the Coalescence just to win and close out the fight. The Gladiators are going to be able to recap this point, what I believe is the second time in the series, I should say.
Yeah, the first retake though, and that's crucial. Because the Gladiators, it's all well and good winning the first fight when everything is equal, but being able to retake against an opponent that's as strong as the Titans bodes very well for them moving forwards in this map. Now, a slightly easier part. They have to hold on.
Fisher caught out of position though. The wall is being destroyed. You can see another defensive ice wall being used. The self-destruct's going to be traded up and over, but it's the Gladiators who have come out on top. Cloudy, along with Birdring, pounding in the damage with the Hellfire shotguns. And immediately Titans, they have to disengage from this. It's a lost fight.
That's the value of Space's Diva Bomb there. It just threads its way past the ice wall and forces the Vancouver Titans to either commit or retreat. Their team split, and they ended up dying as a result.
This is something that Space was famous for on the Valiant, I should say. Destructs. Nice little Bionade there from Twilight. It's going to force Birdring back. Has a Death Blossom to work with as well. Now we'll see, we're getting into final fight territory so far. Soundbire connects onto everyone but Birdring. Earth Shatter laid down, doesn't connect. Flips the point though, and the Vancouver Titans get a better Soundbire. Now we see the Blizzard being used by the Vancouver Titans. Doesn't quite catch as many players as they were hoping for. Stitch just trying to find a pick or two. Twilight with another huge Bionade in the backline, but it's Jaru comes up on top with the opening pick, and that has absolutely cracked this one open for them. Stitch tries desperately to try and get something out of the Death Blossom, but the Gladiators are going to be coming out on top in this team fight.
It was an unbelievable Death Blossom coming out from Birdring, actually, that just shredded everyone. He found the perfect flank angle when it all looked lost, and the Vancouver Titans crumble when it looked like they were going to wrap up this round of this map so easily. Now their backs are the ones up against the wall with no ults available.
Well, here we have it. Fisher after switching over to the Wrecking Ball just to touch the point. The Blizzard is going to be zoning them all out. Everyone getting frozen on the point. They can't even touch the point for that matter. Jaru finds the kill onto Stitch. That might be exactly what they need to seal this round. Put it in their back pocket and keep this map going. Fisher falls as well. A last-ditch Earth Shatter by Cloudy will do enough. It mitigates it, and that's going to clean up the majority of the... Seems like he has that in the Gladiators, and now they are already out onto the point. Again, running the May Reaper, but this time Space is going to be flexing over to the Orisa. Double shields, a lot of damage mitigation, a very powerful combo if you manage to take the point early. Shaz's Immortality Field is going to get taken down, but Cloudy with a crucial pin onto Haxel. And that is going to do it realistically for them. LA's Cloudy, look at him just swinging ahead with his hammer. He's already built up the Earth Shatter for the next fight. And now this is a dangerous situation for the Titans, because with the composition that the Gladiators are running, you don't want to let them get up a nice stronghold onto the point.
No, it's so difficult to break Ryan Orisa, and that's not so much because of the shield coming out from the Orisa, but it's more what the Orisa can do in the middle of fights. Be able to put down that shield to block the freeze, to isolate people. And
oh, it's aggressive! Cloudy! My word! Lays down the Earth Shatter. And oh my word, you don't need to say anything more than that. That seals the deal. The team fight's over. The Titans realize that, and they get sent straight to the back of the respawn queue.
And the Vancouver Titans have got to scout a little bit more than that. That was way too easy for Cloudy to pull off. He was just stood there waiting the entire time. They knew the Titans were coming from there. And the Titans, they don't have a comp that wants to brawl that much. If they brawl, the Gladiators have got the better composition.
We'll see now if Twilight can get value out of his Coalescence. Ends up using it now. Along with the amplification matrix here, the Earth Shatter comes out from Fisher, doesn't connect. Stitch, though, is getting value from his Death Blossom. That's going to force out the Sound Barrier and the Immortality Field now from the Gladiators. Still a winnable fight for either side. Now Stitch seeing if he can get the opening kill here onto Jaro, just laying in the damage into the side, but the Gladiators are the ones who are coming out on top. Ultimate's being used just to try and really secure this team fight. End up using the drums from Space and the Blizzard, but they are still in control of the point, and that's the most important fact.
It really is, because this Gladiators team, where they're running the Reinhardt and the Orisa, it's so good at staying in control. You want to invest those ultimates just to stay in control. Vancouver Titans, though, they've got this Blizzard available. So if they can bait the Gladiators into an enclosed area, the Blizzard can get max value. That's their win condition. They need to win this fight.
We'll see if they can do it. Taking the high ground positioning right now. Cloudy knocking a player or two off the high ground. Birdring just trying to set himself up for a position, maybe a teleport into the back line. And here we have it. Orchestrated straight into the back. The Death Blossom, he sets it up. Cloudy, though, manages to secure the 3K, and that is going to do it. At least in the textbook, that many players for the Vancouver Titans. The Gladiators have almost all but secured it, and that is going to mean that map 1 is going to be going to the Los Angeles
Supports here, though. The Zen Brigitte is something that I haven't heard any team talk about as a classic support composition, paired with these kind of other heroes, but it provides a huge amount of pressure onto Cloudy.
We'll see the Earthshatter, and the Self-Destruct laid down. Space manages to get 2 kills. That could set Gladiators up to try and hold this one now. The Blizzard used against the corner. It's going to be freezing up a couple of them, but now you see the Transcendence by Twilight. Jaru attempts to try and cut the line of sight with his Ice Wall, but not quite quick enough. Despite that, Slime is going to end up falling. Now we see again the Self-Destruct used by Janu. Defensively going to remake as well. The Titans are not showing any signs of slowing down. Fisher seals this deal with the Earthshatter at the end.
Had to use both support ults, but that's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned, because Slime should basically be used on cooldown. A Brigitte rally is just a benefit in these team fights. It's not a huge ultimate. They do have to watch out for Cloudy's Earthshatter, but take a look at some of the DPS swaps that have happened here for the Gladiators. Jaru wants to brawl with
the first pick, and we'll see what Jaru can do. He's poking, he's prodding, he's searching for an opening. The high ground's going to be contested by the D.Va players for the time being. Just shy, and now we see the punch comes in, counter bash. Stitch comes up now with the Deadeye, finds the kill onto Jaro while he was down on the floor, stunned up. And that's a great opening for them. Biggers tries to even it out as well by Twilight going down. Now we see Space using the Self-Destruct again! 2 kills for the Gladiators. And it looks like off the back of that, they are definitely going to be able to defend here, just shy of the second checkpoint.
Space has 6 self-destruct kills so far this map. That is bananas. You should not be expecting those kind of numbers, even from some top-level star off-tank like Space. He is being able to find openings all over the place. And Jaru is committed to this Doomfist now. So Stitch on the McCree is really going to be looking to deal with him repeatedly.
Yep. I don't know if I'm too keen on it, but we'll see. Space now opts to take it off angle into the back lines. They want to try and force out the Transcendence, and they do exactly that. Twilight has to use it to keep his team up. The Gladiators are coming up slightly on top. The Blizzard gets no value. Fisher ends up using the Earthshatter, but who can follow up on it? Absolutely no one. Shaz with the Coalescence, keeping his team back up and alive. But Fisher staggered at the tail end of that fight as well. Another lost team fight now for the Vancouver Titans.
And you're just seeing that when the Gladiators turn up the tempo with a speed boost, with the heals coming out from the Moira, the Vancouver Titans can't do anything. They have damage, sure, they have utility, but they don't have the heals and they don't have the speed with their previous support lineup of the Zen Brigitte. So Twilight makes the swap over onto Moira, and Haxal has gone onto the Doomfist.
This is wild.
It really is. The Titans have got a much deeper playbook than anybody else we've seen so far. Will it work, though?
That's the question on everyone's mind. Haxal's going to be taking a couple of odd angles, just trying to see if he can find an opening. Nice counter pin, the charge, Cloudy goes down, but Burnering answers back in the backline with the Death Blossom. He's going to find Stitch for the time being. You see the Meteor Strike being used. Haxal manages to collect one of the supports, not too bad. Uppercut, I should say. Followed up, Haxal is really setting his team up now. And the soundbite by Big Goose just a little bit too late here. The Titans are going to be able to clean up the rest of this team fight.
Yeah, Big Goose used that sound barrier when there was only 3 alive, attempting to clutch, make time for the other players to be able to come back. But I think he would want that back. The Vancouver Titans now have a little bit of an opportunity to keep rolling forwards. The old advantage isn't in their favor, but if they can rock off this Coalescence and maybe get a pick with Haxal, momentum can certainly keep going in point C.
Yeah, we'll see Jana. You can see the reactions of him. He's just trying to peel for absolutely everyone on his team. And it is control of this high ground is what they're battling over. Space forced, he was demeced. Had to use his Self-Destruct early, but the fight kicks off the Meteor Strike. Fisher with 2 kills. Unbelievable form so far. Seismic Slam for Haxal, trying to get to safety. Comes down to 100 HP. The Adaptive Shields are going to be helping him stay alive, and the Titans are absolutely rolling this one to the finish line.
Yeah, Gladiators were not able to hold on there, and they've made a swap. Chaz going over to the Ana. He's going to look to build up a nano within the last couple of moments. He's got the additional healing as well, a bit of safety from Spawn, but all eyes are on Cloudy. He needs this Earthshatter to land, needs to be able to dodge someone. Official coming out!
Oh my word! The flank players might have just set this one up now. Stitch follows up with another kill onto Cloudy here. See some big plays coming out right now, but you can see for now the Vancouver Titans just taking position onto the high ground. They've got the mobility, remember, when they're playing these heroes. Ryujay Hong playing a very long off angle. Bionade comes out, not sure if it connected to too many people. Just trying to keep Fisher alive. Can't unfortunately do that, but the kills are happening in the backline as well. Somitsu is being a nuisance, a bit of a pest, as he picks off 1 or 2 players. Almost got a second one there from Ryujay Hong's bio grenade, assisting him. Gonna have to Wraith walk away just so that he stays alive. But for now, a free tick. I mean, you're not gonna argue with free progress right now, but the Vancouver Titans are just trying to build up these ultimates. They're gonna try and dive onto a target. They recognize that Cloudy was out of position. Birdring now trying to clutch it up. If he can get a kill onto Fisher, it'll be beautiful. But unfortunately, taken down in the nick of time. And the Titans, this is a war of attrition that I didn't think they were going to be winning, but it feels like they are.
I mean, they're getting picked slowly, but they're also having to retreat, give up space, because the Gladiators team comp can just run at them wherever they are. So apart from that 33% of progress that they managed to accrue, that will always stay on the point, Vancouver haven't got much else. And the composition that they're using requires Somitsu to get into the backline before everyone else. Haxal's just on his own here.
He's in danger right now.
Surely going to get frozen and killed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the peel was almost there from Jano. He tried to come in with the defense matrix. We see ultimates forced out by the Gladiators, though. That sound barrier being used is actually pretty huge right now for the Titans, because look at what ultimates they've got. This is going to be a reset. They're going to go back to spawn, but Haxal is sitting on that Dragon Blade, and Ryujay Hong is sitting on that Nano Boost.
A huge amount of pressure applied there for the Vancouver Titans onto the Gladiators. They used their Immortality Field, and then Big Goose had to use his Sound Barrier as well. That means the only thing stopping Haxal's Dragon Blade is the Immortality Field coming out from Shaz.
Although, here we go. Show me the business. Haxal's ready and waiting. The blade comes up. The Nano Boost lay it down. He collects 1. He collects not quite 2, but he finally finds it in the end. And that's good enough for me. Haxal's back. 2 kills. He's going to open this one up for the Titans. And they are eventually going to be able to capture this first point.
Phenomenal stuff. You always love to see Haxal back on his signature hero, and Big Goose is just wishing he had that sound barrier still available, but they had used it in the previous fight. Vancouver Titans did use both the support ults and the Dragon Blade, but they're still looking good for a fight here to go in, maybe force out the Blizzard, get a little bit of capture time progress. But they have to find targets and play the high ground. This isn't a composition they can just go toe-to-toe with the Gladiators with.
Well, Somitsu, the Death Blossom into the back line, bashed up. That was Big Goose switching over to the Brigitte. A critical change. Completely mitigated the ultimate, and now that might be an opening now for the Gladiators, but Fisher comes in with the Primal Rage. Leaps onto the point. See if he can get any value. He gets 2 kills. Meanwhile, on the point, the Titans are running this one all the way home.
Blizzard comes in, Jaro desperately trying to save him, but he's pulled it so far away from the point that it essentially gets no value. Didn't even separate anyone, and Haxal's almost ready for another blade.
And I'm ready for it as well. Haxal is 3% away. The blade is waiting. Big Goose falls. All of his targets are down. He doesn't even need to use it. His team are cleaning up the targets regardless. And with the rest of the Titans, they're able to really secure some capture point. 33%. Just waiting. Ryujay Hong holding onto the Nano Boost for now, biding his time. And now it's go time. 1 slash comes out, Jaro falls. He finds a second one. Oh my word. Haxal, an absolute legend. 5 kills for him. With the assist from the...
Goes back and swaps to Hanzo.
Interesting. Now, Hanzo was the favored sort of damage dealer that we heard early on, but that kind of fell to the wayside for McCree. A lot of people deciding to just play McCree. Obviously, the projectile change in speed has been affecting them quite a lot. There we have it. Look at that. Immediately, Janet just jumping onto the back line. The Titans able to pick up some early kills as well, early eliminations. Somitsu stuck in the ice wall. Gets himself out of there, thankfully. The Hellfire shotgun's good for that.
But there's already been a huge pick. Jaro managed to kill Haxal really early as they got in here. So if this fight had been a little cleaner, they might have been able to make use of that. But as it is, the fight took so long that the Titans are going to have Fisher and Haxal both back into this fight. I don't think the Bird Ring could get any value out of the Hanzo, though. Janu's D.Va, and just D.Va in general, has been buffed to a degree where it is the most mobile hero in the world.
Yep.
And so if you're trying to run a Widow or a Hanzo, you got to be scared of it.
Well, the Ice Wall is going to be blocking off the line of sight. Jaehyung forced to unload the Nano Boost now. We're going to see Fisher swinging into them. He has the Earth Shatter. He saw the shield crack. I know he wants to use it, but he's got to be kept alive by the rest of his team. And they have managed to catch Jaru out of position here. His eyes blocked. That is BM. I think he was anticipating the Ice Wall to come down, but Sound Barrier is going to be used by Gladiators as well. But, I mean, they get into the fight a little bit longer. Still could be anyone's game right now. Somin Sudo, look at these shots.
Great
Absolutely demolishing the Gladiators.
Really well-timed flank, and that is the second time in this match where Big Goose has been punished for trying to clutch by using his Sound Barrier when they are down people. It's great that you have that kind of confidence in your team, that you think you're able to win fights when you're down by investing ultimates. It's what the Vancouver Titans themselves used to do last year, and we praised them so much for it. But when it goes wrong, it goes quite disastrously wrong. Ult advantage all in favor of Vancouver.
Well, Fisher already just swinging away now. We can see Somitsu with the Death Blossom into the back line. Shaz just misses his sleep, doesn't connect it. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade, though, as both teams are going to lose their Annas. Haxel being pressured, Janu's there, and now we see the Blizzard keeping them all locked up onto the point. The South Struck from space is going to try and push them away from the point, but it's not good enough, unfortunately. Couldn't quite create the opening that they were looking for, and the Titans are still holding on to this first point.
Only 1 minute left for the Los Angeles Gladiators. They need to be able to crack point A. Point B, they can think about later. Who cares about that? Full complete in the map. This is their problem right now. How to crack point A with only really the Blizzard to work with. They need Birdring in a great position to flank, and they need to force the fight in an enclosed area so Jaru can get maximum value. If Janu eats this Blizzard, it's all over.
Jaru comes in, the Blizzard. Walled off though. Ice Wall, he tries to use it to get over it. He mistimed it. It's going to be out of the fight, and Cloudy falls. You can't push with this anymore. The push is dead.
They reset. They have 30 seconds. Big Goose may get up to his Sound Barrier as well, but the Vancouver Titans have more opportunities to clutch. They've got the Nano Boost, they've got the Earth Shatter, they can still play very aggressive. And the point at some point...
Yeah, they have to push on, and Fisher has this Earth Shatter ready and waiting as well. Nano Boost. Ryu Hong just holding on, waiting for the right opportunity. The Ice Wall comes out. Fisher! Oh my God, the ingenuity from the man! It's like nothing I've ever seen. He just knows how to play Reinhardt to such a high degree. Comes round, sets it up, the 2 kills were all off the back of him. And now it's the overtime, Birds down. Gladiators, one last attempt to try and find their way onto the point. The Death Blossom from Birdring is not good enough. Space desperately tries to hold on to the overtime, but it's not going to be enough. And the Vancouver Titans just trying to draw them back. Surround and conquer. The Sun Tzu strategy, I think.
He's one of the coaches for the Vancouver Titans.
Could be, could be. Somitsu trying to get the hack off onto one of the targets. OG slept in the back line, but Mirror falls to Sominsu. Good opening. Haxel falls up as well into Birdring. The res comes up though, so they've only lost 1 player. Now it's going to be an even trade, so could be anyone's game as it stands. They're scattered to the wind, if you will. But the Titans look like they are coming out on top. It's a slow war of attrition, but they come out on top as they slowly push it in.
And Mirror really wasn't able to get that much done there. He would have loved to be able to shoot a bunch of tanks on the floor, but the Vancouver Titans swapped over to dive. And we are really seeing the Titans push forward this idea that dive is going to be viable in 2020, at least against certain compositions and on certain maps. Haxel, 70%
impossible. The Sleep Dart is not going to connect now onto Birdring, who switched over to the Tracer, harassing the back line. Heals come out. Haxel's still staying alive. Bionade as well, going to be topping them all up. And now it's go time. The button might be pressed, but that pick onto Haxel is enormous. It's going to actually stop this push entirely from the Titans.
Yeah, it delays it even longer. I mean, Vancouver Titans have the time in their time bank anyway, over 4 minutes, so they're not that bothered about it, but it does allow the Gladiators time to reposition. OG has his Primal, which is another effective way of dealing with Haxel, if he can isolate him.
For now, this is what we were all waiting for. Twilight holding onto the Nano Boost. We're looking for the prime opportunity. Ults are going to start to get used here. Haxel used the blade in the background. And Twilight, he didn't have the line of sight. He couldn't use the Nano Boost onto him. Gladiators immediately jump on the opportunity. They go full aggressive, and they end up finding the picks necessary to once again stop this push. Now, I'm wondering, will Haxel actually end up swapping off this role? And yeah, indeed, he's going to be going over to the Mei. Fisher as well with a change, playing a more standard composition.
And it's going to be really hard for the Gladiators to stop this, because the Vancouver Titans have got great point presence once they actually get around the payload. Sure, the Dragon Blade didn't work, and the Gladiators did a great job with their tank ultimates, but how do they approach this now?
Very difficult. You can see Mira just on the high ground, laying in the shots, pumping in the damage. He has the Deadeye available to him. Somin-Su gets the nano boost in the end, but gets absolutely no value out of it. It's going to be a one-for-one trade there. Birdring jumped into the back line, laid down the pulse bomb, did collect a kill, but traded it for his own life. Gladiators are still in a very good position to try and hold this now. OGE absolutely demolishing onto the high ground.
They're slowly picking people off, but they still haven't been able to fight on the payload once. It has been free push for Vancouver as they've wiggled their way halfway through point B. And they've only expended a minute and a half here.
So interesting to see Axel again switching over to the Genji once more. Nano boost though onto OG. They're going to try and take an aggressive fight. Slapped up on the high ground though. Twilight has been massive with these sleeps, negating so many ultimates.
Another one as well, a Bionade onto Shaz to take out his counterpart. Sure, Axel's died. Oh, but Mira, nice work to also
huge clutch. 3 kills for Mira. Lines them up, takes them down, and the Titans are forced to reevaluate how exactly they want to be pushing this one.
And the Gladiators' composition, as strange as it looks, has been getting them results at the moment. I would like to see the Vancouver Titans stick to a very brawly composition. Get value out of your Lucio speed boost, force them to come down to you and try and pick off individual targets. But the last time they tried that, they just lost a couple of people here and there to Mira's shots, to Birdring's harassment. So instead, they're putting their eggs in the Haxel Genji basket once again.
Oh, Space comes in with the South Destruct, tries to create a bit of space. You can see, look at the aggression! Bishop, he just charges straight into the pulse bomb, laid down like a nice little egg, a hen just trying to keep it warm, but not quite.
It's a tactical reset, Brad. We see them all.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that looked great.
Oh, wow. But Birdring is still staying on this Tracer pick as well.
Yeah.
And why not as well? I mean, Vancouver Titans are not really running anything to try and counteract it. You don't see the Brigitte, you don't see McCree.
I like the ball swap, though, for Fisher. It's about to come up. They need to control the high ground, though. Otherwise, Mira's just going to keep putting in damage and use this Deadeye from long distance, and it'll negate everything.
The Titans cannot have another blunder like the last time. Haxel, flashbang, stays alive, now the nano boost, and now the blade! He unleashes it! 1 kill goes his way, turns for the second one, he's going to collect it, and now goes straight for the Brigitte. It's a Jinmu play if I've ever seen one. And now wants to try and contest with the D.Va. Space wants none of it. It's getting the heck out of there. Wonderful plays by Haxel, once again finding the value that he needed.
Yeah, they managed to take control of that top right-hand side. Big value blade. But the Gladiators are not giving this one up. OG comes back in.
Oh
and he's
my.
there with Birdring to take down
Oh
Haxel.
my.
The ball line has fallen.
Gladiators are doing it here. Big plays from Birdring and OG. Birdring lays down the post bomb. He won't find the target. Stays within the safety of the bubble, but it just collapses in the nick of time. Janu collects the kill, but as they all fall, it means the Titans are gonna just scout it a little bit with the Sombra. He went back. Now he's going to be playing the Doomfist.
Gives them opportunities to find picks. Just and a little bit at a random while they happen to be in the middle of a brawl. And if he finds a pick, the spawn advantage so much in their favor. He can afford to go for plays like that, though. Not too much of a mistake. They can keep coming out here and keep putting Mira in position.
Nice little sleep dart there from Shaz. Nothing to capitalize onto Somin-Su, though, but you got to remember, as you said, Josh, Gladiators, they have this spawn advantage. They can afford to make these risky plays. But right now, the Titans are absolutely straight. The Birdring, though, answers back. Now we see the nano boost built up so fast. OG just charges into the back line. He's immediately frozen up, but he does finally collect a kill. Gets one of the Twilight, at least. So at least he got a little bit of value out of the nano boost. Haxel just trying to run his way out of there, realizes it's a fool's errand. Comes back to reset with the rest of his team, and Gladiators are able to push this, hopefully through this archway, which can often be a bit of a tricky point to push through.
A bit messy there from the Titans. They didn't quite know how to deal with Mira. Half of their team backing off, half of their team trying to take an early fight. Ends up with the loss of Fisher. And they've got the Coalescence, but the Gladiators are stacked full of ults that are about to come online. Particularly this Space Bomb can make a lot of space.
On the precipice of it right now, Space has the self-destruct. The Coalescence comes out from the Titans, trying to hose them down. Fisher collects the kill into Shaz. No more healing right now, and that is exactly what the Titans wanted. Take away one of the main healers, suddenly the rest of the team will crumble around it.
Yeah, really nice aggressive play there to be able to pick off Shaz early on in the fight. And their composition for the Vancouver Titans just revolves around being able to hold choke points, go in, isolate people with that Mei wall, which is not something that the Gladiators can do. The Gladiators are relying on picks from Mirror.
Murdering. He's looking for opportunities to flank into the back line, but I'm looking at Fisher right now. He's got the Earth Shatter. He's going to be hunting for opportunities. You can see the seismic slam there onto the flag. Oh, gee, hits a huge shatter. Death Blossom into the backline by Soulman, but Murdering answers back. 4 kills, and Space eating the Blizzard as well. Absolutely wonderful from the Gladiators, and they crash through the first point.
That went as perfectly as you could possibly ask for. Let's take another look at this. Birdring with a beautiful timing just after the shatter goes down and manages to avoid one. Oh, the eat on the Blizzard as well. But Birdring's already done the damage. Nano boosted Death Blossom. Oh,
pure,
so perfect.
Pure excellence. And the Gladiators, we said there was a lot of mechanical talent on this team. They're showing it right now. Earthshatter comes down here for Fisher. Doesn't find any targets. Bigger's going to be answering with the Soundbire. Now Haxel trying to make some plays happen. OG goes for the miracle charge and ends up collecting a kill onto Slime, but it's not quite good enough. The Titans, they have the damage advantage here. They're able to find the kills necessary to win out this team fight once more. But remember, the Gladiators, they don't have to win that many team fights before they end up taking this to map 5.
That's true, but they're not going to get that free push that the Vancouver Titans got. Both of these teams now have compositions where they're going to take team fights instead of flanking around and trying to pick off targets. So this is going to come down to who wins a big, decisive team fight.
Self-destruct fight. Find anything. Haxel gets counterpunched, but immediately is going to be using the Meteor Strike just to get his way out of there. OG being pressured heavily, but thankfully the peel is there. But Fisher lays down the Earth Shatter, but he doesn't get anything. And now OG, he's free to try and take this one for his own. Look at the kills flowing into the backline now. Mirror just absolutely pounding in the damage. And they still have ultimates to work with. This is almost best case scenario. Maybe I spoke too soon though. Somitsu, a desperation play, and OG decides it's time to sort of use that trump card in the back pocket. Clean up this fight. It was getting a little bit too messy after Somitsu got those 2 kills.
Certainly was. You would expect the Vancouver Titans to be right in their comfort zone. They made it to the 2019 Grand Finals playing Reaper Doomfist. Yes, the tank line's support line's slightly different, but this should be comfort territory for Sominsu and Haksal. At the moment, though, they need to win the next team fight, and the ults are just stacked up against them. Mirror, though!
Oh my word, what a critical pick! The Titans, they had nothing to work with. They needed a pick-off, and they found it in the form of Mirror. Birdring's going to try and answer back in the back line, but his Death Blossom gets absolutely no value. Now the Nano Boost, OG desperately swinging away, trying to build up the ultimates, and he's going to almost get the Earth Shatter. 90% and counting, collecting 1 kill. A very good scenario for the Gladiators, but it almost went a little bit skew-whipped.
Yeah, it was Haxal and Mirror managed to counterpunch each other, and then Mirror died, but the Vancouver Titans overcommitted. Have they really given away their opportunity to win this map, to defend?
And they're forced to touch, they're forced to go in. The punch, the Meteor Strike, lay it down with the Earth Shatter! Oh my word! OG lays it down for Mirror to claim the glory, and that should be that. A last-ditch self-destruct from Janu over the top to try and make it work. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. You can see Gladiators, they're all over them. Somitsu, so low. Desperately trying to stay onto the point. Titans turning us around. Remember, they have the spawn advantage. This could be their match.
They're coming back in, and Haxal's got the Meteor Strike. Both DPS ults online. If they can stabilize and find a couple of picks, still very winnable for both teams.
Haxal from on high. Goes for the punch. Is going to miss. Seismic slam. Somitsu gets nothing out of the Death Blossom. Big Gladiators, they use their Soundbire in response. Birdring to clutch. And we are going to be going to a map 5. Oh my word! Unbelievable scene!
Really favored the McCree in this matchup as long as Birdring can hit his shots. It's great burst damage, the flashbang has got great potential as well, but we'll see how it ends up working out.
Birdring, poking, prodding, trying to take a couple of those shots. You see the Immortality Field went down instantly. That's an important cooldown. You can see the peel as well. Look at the backline. They're trying to bring down Birdring, but unfortunately not enough damage is there to try and do it. Now Somin-Su is putting in a bit of work, but now he's trapped behind enemy lines, and he is going to be brought down in the end.
What? This is crazy. It's a May and a Lucio versus a May and a Lucio on the point. For the final one, these teams could not be more evenly matched.
Axel will fall in the end though. The Gladiators had a slight advantage as Space came in back into the fight a little bit faster. The Titans, I don't think they're going to choose to recontest this. They've lost 2 members. But it will mean the Gladiators open up here on our final map by capping the point.
That was so close between both of those teams, and I want to give so much credit to Big Goose and Shaz, particularly Big Goose, who stayed alive there all the way to the end, continued to have great impact throughout that fight. That's the reason that they were kept on.
Sleeping on the job a little bit here. Shaz hitting a nice little sleep dart. Now we see the Nano lay down onto Cloudy. He's unable to get any value though. He's taking a little bit too much damage. Just peeling them back, and that's going to give the Vancouver Titans a bit of space, a bit of room to breathe. Now we see the sound barrier being used, and they absolutely split up Fisher away from the rest of his team. Slime caught out as well. This is going to be another one fight for the Los Angeles Gladiators.
A really nice play, especially by Jaru. The positioning on that Blizzard was perfect to be able to drive a wedge through the Vancouver Titans and pick them off. And the Vancouver Titans, you know, they theoretically should have a bit of an advantage with the Immortality Field if Shaz doesn't get value out of his Nano. But we haven't seen it.
Trading self-destructs, no value, but that's going to set up now this Blizzard. And it does connect onto Cloudy, but look at that. The defense matrix from space was almost enough to keep him alive, but he was just caught and frozen up. Somin-Su in a bit of danger, but able to, with the rest of his, and the help of his team, win out that 1v1. Not really a 1v1 when you got the Divas defense matrix, let's be honest. But the Titans are able to recapture this point in the end.
Expected with the use of the Blizzard. It's such an enormous pivotal ultimate that can guarantee you a team fight as long as it isn't consumed by the opposing Diva. But Space didn't quite manage to get it that time. And now the Titans are in control of the point, which is where we've seen them at their most effective.
Bit of information going to be gathered now. The positioning of Vancouver Titans is very split right now, but got the Reaper on the left side. He can instantly regroup with the rest of his team with the teleport. Now we see a bit of an initiation being made. The Deadeye by Birdring collects 1 kill, collects 2, looking for the 3rd, but Big Goose will steal it away from him. And this is a great opening for the Los Angeles Gladiators.
The Titans just played a little too passive there. They weren't able to get aggressive in the face of the Gladiators, instead trying to get value out of their Amp Matrix. And it was too little too late. Somin-Su just did never find that flank. And Jaru and Haxel both coming up to their Blizzards. This would normally favor the team that's in control of the point of the area, because they can just block off that choke point.
Whoa, another great ice wall from Jaru. Fisher completely caught out. The rest of his team trying to follow suit. But look at this, the Titans are answering back. The Immortality Field kept them alive. And it's long enough for Cloudy to go down. Had to commit a couple of ultimates, but now we see Jaru, last-ditch Blizzard on the point, thrown it out. But it's not going to be good enough. And that was a lot of the ultimates being expended there by the Gladiators without too much gain.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of an overextension by Cloudy. He saw an opportunity with the Maywall to try and secure a pick, but instead he split his own team by going too aggressive. Took a very long approach with the Gladiators instead of staying tightly balled up together. And Twilight's Immortality Field found a lot of value. Haxel's Blizzard here should be almost a guaranteed fight win.
All eyes on it. Can Space eat it? That's the question. Self-destruct comes up, and that's cue for Axel to use the Blizzard. He knows it's not going to be 8. Picks up 1 kill onto Cloudy. The Amber Formation Matrix from Twilight does a lot of work as well in the back lines. And I think the Gladiators, they had to back off because it's only 5% remaining until this round goes one way or the other.
This Nano Boost is going to have to be used by Shaz just to contest the point and wait for Cloudy to get back in the fight.
Whoa! Fisher comes round the corner with the Earth Shatter. No real kills being claimed from it, but it's going to be the one-to-one trade. Immortality Field taken out. Gladiators hunting for opportunities now. Space his teammates. Big Goose just trying to stay alive. Peeling for the backline now, but Janu is all over them. Ends up using his own self-destruct, finds Shaz in the process, and Titans, it looks like this is their point to claim. The Ice Wall is a last-ditch effort to try and stall it up, but the Vancouver sides, they're going to clash on the point. It's an eventuality. Ice Wall going to be used here by Jaru to try and split up some of the members of the Titans. No luck though thus far. A lot of healing being pumped out here by Twilight, and it's enough. Sominsu just laying in the damage. Fisher with the fire strike. The Titans are going to be able to claim this first point.
Really good ice wall by Haxel. Managed to find Cloudy and isolate him. It wasn't Cloudy's fault, but because Jaru had used his ice wall really early in the fight and found no value, there was just no way for Cloudy to escape. The Titans playing patient, not rushing things, and eventually Haxel finds them an opportunity. Now they're in control again. This is so important on these maps. It's much harder to push in than it is to defend.
Twilight very close to the amplification matrix as well. The window, as the pro players call it, but doesn't even need it. The Immortality Field will lay down Amp Matrix as well. The choke point, it's the firing range. They're all going to be falling right now, particularly Space and Shaz as they take a quick little dip.
And the unfortunate thing here for the Gladiators is that because they lost these last two fights quite decisively, Jaru is pretty far behind Haxel in his ult, Cloudy is pretty far behind Fissure, Big Goose is pretty far behind Slime. This is that snowball that occurs on these control maps.
Yeah. The Titan has to use his charge to catch up, tries to basically put himself in between them. He has the Earth Shatter. His team needs to keep him alive though. Fisher's been so instinctual, the 180 doesn't connect. Great block comes out from Cloudy, but now the Blizzard gets a lot of value. Coming out into the backline, Sominsu! 3 kills with the Death Blossom, and now it is danger time for Los Angeles Gladiators.
Yeah, Sominsu just finding the perfect flank there. His team was forced to use the sound barrier to get him into position, but he comes up with the goods. Beautifully timed, just at the edge of the Blizzard, exactly where he knows where they're going to be. Slime, great timing with his sound barrier, and the Vancouver Titans remain in control. Final fight.
Potentially the final fight right now. The Titans could claim this series here and now. The Ice Wall keeps them off. Someone managed to touch Space, forced to just commit and use his body, but now look at Burgering into the back line. He gets nothing from his Death Blossom. The Immortality Field was there. Janu using the self-destruct, just trying to create a bit of space. The ultimates are being traded left, right, and center. Overtime ticking. Sominsu picking up Big Goose. It's so big, and the Gladiators, they're falling one after the other. The overtime comes down.